morning musings from me. Um, I follow another groomer called Neon Dragon. They're in Winnipeg, I want to say. They make some really cool videos. You should go follow them. They're really funny. But they've just posted a video today that I think is really interesting and really needs to be discussed, I guess, on the topic of regulation in the grooming industry. Now, as you may or may not know, if you're not a dog groomer, you won't know probably, dog grooming is not regulated really anywhere, especially in the UK. We've got nothing. There's nothing to regulate us. Now, I did a qualification 12 years ago. I went to a very well-respected grooming school and I did my qualifications, and they taught us health and safety, good grooming practices, dog handling, you know, all things that were very useful. However, that does not give me a certificate. I got a certificate that said I did the grooming course, but it doesn't qualify us to have like a regulated body certificate, you know? It was extra money to do my city and guilds, and to be honest, I didn't have the money, so I was like, I'll leave that till later. We'll do that another day. And now there is talk here in the UK that we will maybe be regulated one day. I don't know when that will happen. I don't know what the government plans to do to help fund that. Because quite frankly, doing your city and guilds, I looked into doing it a few years back when I worked at Dofos, and they were wanting like, $2,000 or something. And I would have to go and, right, bearing in mind I was already grooming for 11 years, 10 years at that time. I'd been grooming all that time. I'd run 2 businesses. I was a very successful, very busy dog groomer. They wanted me to go back and do a dog grooming course, like as in from scratch, like from day one, with all the beginners who have never touched a pair of dog grooming scissors before. They wanted me to pay like 2-3 grand and go and do my dog grooming course again in order to get my city and guilds qualification, which I was not happy to do. I don't want to go back and do all that again and waste a month of my time when I'm already working, So it raises some questions about what the government plan to do to help us. Because if they want us to regulate, they're going to need to provide better fast track options. They're going to need to provide funding, because I can't take time off work. I'm very busy now. I'm 4 dogs a day, 3 weeks booked out in advance. I don't have the time to be going off and doing a month dog grooming course in things I already know how to do. Anyway, the point of my video was that Neon Dragon were saying that one of the things that keeps creeping in over there in Canada is that grooming companies, grooming schools, grooming whatever, are trying to, or they're doing it, they're already doing it, they're making their own certifications. They're saying, oh, if you do this course, you'll be qualified. But once again, it's not regulated. So I could literally print off a certificate tomorrow and say to people, if you pay me 10 grand, you can come and be qualified at Temple of the Dog. What does that mean? It means nothing. And it comes down to the question of, if the only recommendation that somebody has for you to be a better groomer or a better whatever is to purchase their equipment or their certification or their course, that's just marketing. That's not actually bettering you in any way. It's like people that are master groomers. That was also a question that was raised, and I think that's a really important question as well. Is there any point in becoming a master groomer if your bread and butter, like mine, is pet grooms? People aren't going to want to pay the money, and fairly enough, for the increased prices of the grooms because you've now spent all of this money getting your master groomer certification. Nobody wants to pay, £100 for a basic dog groom because you've now spent so much money getting your master groomer certificate that you need to claw the money back from your customers if you're just doing basic pet grooms. Fair enough if you're like a show groomer. If I'm grooming at Crufts, then yeah, maybe I'll bother. But I personally am not willing to spend that money. So yeah, sorry, this is a bit of a waffle. It's like 5 minutes long, but it just raised some interesting questions, like how how can we trust companies that are telling us that their way is the right way if the only way that they suggest is to give them money in order to become better at whatever we do? Until the government tells me when you need to be regulated, it needs to be this exact certification. I'm not doing any more certifications. I'm not wasting my money. There's a lot of certifications out there, and I don't think any of them are going to hold water when it comes to the government regulating us. So yeah, anyway, dog groomers, this was just a morning coffee waffle. I'm good at those. But yeah, let me know what you think, because I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to pan out. But Neon Dragon, yeah, I think you've made some really good points in the last couple of days about master groomers mean absolutely nothing in this industry if you're doing this for pets. And also, yeah, don't trust somebody just because they say their way is the right way when actually all they're doing is trying to make money out of you, quite frankly.